Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know I'm supposed to post every single day for the next 31 days. And if you guys noticed, I did not post yesterday. Well, that's because it was a very hectic day. It was raining, I had school, I had work, and I was gonna record something for you guys, but the rain kind of ruined my plans. So I had to come up with something else last minute. I was filming it and I just didn't like it. I didn't want to post something that I didn't put my full efforts into, something that I don't know, I just didn't really feel proud of it, and so I just figured I'd start fresh on day 4, but I promise I will make up for that video by posting 2 videos, or I'll do like a live or something like that, but I will make up for that video plus more, I promise. But for today's video, we're gonna be doing this makeup look. So for today's makeup, as you guys can see, we're gonna do my take on half glam, half skull, and I hope that you guys find this video useful. I tried to make it as easy as possible, and yeah, let's get right into the makeup. Okay guys, so I already did my foundation and I also prepped my eyes and did my brows. For my foundation, however, I did use a lighter concealer than I usually use. Usually I use a concealer that blends a little bit better with my skin tone, but today I went for something lighter to brighten those areas. And I also never conceal this area down here, but today I did. I did a little bit of lighter concealer here, and I set everything with Laura Mercier translucent powder. So let's jump right. What we're gonna do is focus on half of our face, and we're gonna start off with shadows. This is the Warm Neutrals palette, and I'm gonna be taking the shade Saddle from this palette, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to be using that to start off with the contours that I'm going to do on my face. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush just like this, and we're going to start right in the eyebrow. If you guys aren't too sure where to begin your shadows, it's nice to have a reference picture of a skull. And I'm going to do this kind of mad face, and I'm going to emphasize these areas. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of emphasize that mad face, and I'm going to add this shadow that pops up right here. I'm going to kind of carve out my forehead area as well. So as you guys can see a little bit kind of something happening here. I'm just going to blend everything out a little bit more. I'm going to highlight some of these areas to emphasize those shadows. I'm taking the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk, I believe. Yes, this is in the shade Milk. I'm actually going to use a little brush so that I can control it a little bit more. I'm going to take some of that and just put it on my hand. And put it on my hand like that so that I can work with the product. As I'm going to highlight I am grabbing a small kind of blending brush. It's a little bit more precise, and I'm taking the black shadow in the Anastasia Prism palette, and it is called Obsidian. This is a very pigmented shadow, so I really do recommend that you wipe it off on a towel before you start working with it. Blend that white and that brown into each other very, very lightly. I'm using a very light hand. Wrinkles that I see in it, and I am dragging this a lot into the front of my brow. I'm just blending it all in. because this is going to give this skull that evil look. I'm going to take a little bit more of that white on that brush that I was using previously, and I'm just going to drag it up a little bit right here in this area, and I'm going to put a little bit right here in this forehead area right here, just to emphasize those shadows a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a beauty blender and I'm going to blend everything. We're going to do tapping motions. Just like that. I'm going to go in with that same brush. Whatever black shadow I had left on my arm right here, I'm just going to tap into that. I'm not going to tap into the actual pot because that is very pigmented. So I'm just going to tap into that again, and I'm going to emphasize that black. When I do this matte face, a couple of wrinkles pop up right here, and I want to emphasize those as well. So I'm just going to go in with that black shade and emphasize that, because I think that really gives you like a matte face. At least it gives me a matte face. I'm going to take a MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to use that same shade Saddle that we used on the brow, but in this case I'm going to be using it for my transition shade in my crease. So now that I have that saddle in my crease, I'm also going to grab it and drag it right along my bottom lash line. It's okay if you go lower than you regularly do, because skulls have sunken in eye sockets, so that's almost ideal. I'm actually going to take an Anastasia brush, and with the fluffy end I'm going to blend it down. And once I've done that, I'm going to take that same brush, but I'm going to take it on this more precise end, and I'm going to grab that shadow Obsidian. So I'm going to put that all over my lid. I'm going to take that fluffy end and I'm going to start blending both shadows in together. I'm going to go back in with the black and I'm going to intensify that a lot more. Now I'm going to grab a clean Anastasia brush. I'm going to take the fluffy end and blend out all of the outer corners of the shadow. And whatever product was left on this blending brush, on this side specifically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it right here, right where you get kind of bags in your eyes and the hollows of your eye sockets. Whatever's left, I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to drag it right into there. What I'm going to do now is take a little bit more of that NYX pencil in white, and I'm going to add a highlight right here and right here. And I am going to pop on a winged liner, and I am also going to line my bottom waterline with the black. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and apply some falsies. I'm using the velour lashes in Fluff and Wispy. I get these at Sephora. They're my absolute favorite lashes, and I feel like they're perfect for this look because we are doing a completely smoked out black eye. So you're going to want some lashes that are pretty bold so that they can actually stand out, not only because of the black shadow, but also because you might be somewhere dark in the night. So this will really make your eye look pop. I'm gonna stick these on, and I'm also gonna complete this eye by only doing the smoky black and the liners and popping a lash onto that as well. While I'm waiting for my lashes to dry, I'm gonna work on the Glam side of my face. We're gonna add a little bit of blush. And I'm also gonna be adding Fenty Beauty highlight in How Many Carats. Okay, so now that we're done with the Glam side and the skull side, let's move back to the skull side and start working on the bottom half of the face. We're gonna go back to those same shadows that we used to create these shadows on our brow and forehead area. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush once again that I was using for that brown shade saddle, and I'm gonna start carving out the areas that I am going to define in my mouth and jaw. I'm going to start off by shading this area right next to my nose and my mouth, and then I'm going to simply drag it this way. A liner brush just like this one, and we're going to be taking that black shadow. Once again, I'm going to do a simple line right here because I'm going to start my teeth right there already. Carve almost like a half circle right here. I'm going to simply continue my line all the way out, just like that. I might as well start. I'm just gonna use whatever's left over to blend and connect this line and this line. And then I'm also going to grab a little bit more of that black shade. I'm gonna take a MAC 260 brush, which looks like this. I'm gonna take that black shade and I'm gonna start applying it right where I did the line and just smoking it down. This is a great brush for that. So now I'm just emphasizing the black, and I'm going to clean off that brush, and I'm going to start blending downwards. I'm going to go back into that white paint with that same brush. I'm going to highlight the upper area of this line. I'm going to clean off that brush, and I'm going to start blending upwards just a little bit. And I'm going to define that black line. And now I'm going to move on to the teeth on this side, and I'm going to start right here. And I'm gonna start with the teeth of this look. And none of that has to be perfect by any means. What I'm gonna do now is I am going to take some lash glue and I'm going to apply it between each of the teeth. And I'm adding silver glitter in between each of these lines.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood.
Okay, so now that I have all of the glitters, actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just take a liquid liner rather than a powder to make my life easier. Now, for the other half of my lips, I'm going to take a red lipstick. I'm actually using a liquid lipstick from NARS in the shade Star Woman. And I'm going to be applying that on this half of my lip. But first I'm going to line my lip with a MAC pencil in the shade Burgundy.
Stop the things you do. What's up? I ain't lying. Yeah, I can't stand. Woo! No running around. I can't stand. No putting me down.
Okay guys, so I went ahead and I actually added this part right here on the nose, and I also added a little bit of contour onto my cheeks. I'm just going to define that a little bit more. I want my makeup to be a lot more dramatic than regularly, just because it's Halloween, you know, you want it to pop. And I also added a little bit of contour to this side of my nose. Okay you guys, so this is the finished look. Half glam and half skull. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Spell on you.